Good morning, and thank you for watching this morning, wherever you are. If you were to write an essay describing the year 2020, what would you say about it? The year of the pandemic? The year of quarantine and social distancing? The year of the presidential impeachment? The year of Black Lives Matter riots? Maybe this one, the year of the murder hornets, right? I mean, think about it. What would you write? Well, I know what I would write. I would write 2020, the year that God came through for me. The year I learned what it means to lean on Him. The year I trusted Him more. Do you see the difference? How we remember 2020 is largely going to depend on what we learned from it and how we choose to view those events that shaped the year. Here's a little story that kind of illustrates what I mean. A famous writer was in his study room. He picked up his pen and began to write. Last year, I had surgery and my gallbladder was removed. I was forced to stay in bed for months due to the slow and painful recovery. Last year, I turned 60. And because now I'm officially old and business was slow, my company laid me off. I'd given that company 30 years of my life, and this is how they thanked me. Last year, I experienced the sorrow of losing my father unexpectedly. Last year, my son failed in his medical exam because he had been in a car accident. He had to be rushed to the hospital with several fractures and wore a cast on his leg for almost 2 months. Oh, and he was driving my car, which was completely destroyed. And at the end, he wrote, "Man, last year was such a bad year." He went outside to stretch his legs for a bit, and his wife came into the room and glanced down at the words the man had written. She left the room, but returned a few minutes later, this time with another paper, which she placed right beside what her husband had written. When the man returned to his study, he saw the paper his wife had left for him. On it, she had written this: "Last year, the year I finally got rid of my gallbladder, which had been causing me pain for several years. Last year, the year I turned 60 with reasonably good health. Although I got retired from my job, I can now spend more time writing, and I will have more focus and more peace. Last year, my father, at the age of 95, and without depending on anyone or anything, and without any long suffering or hospital stays, got the privilege of meeting his Creator. Last year, God blessed my son with a new life. My car was destroyed, but my son stayed alive with no permanent injuries." And at the end, she wrote this: "Man, last year was such an immense blessing from God." The man was amazed at how his wife had written such beautiful and encouraging interpretation of the exact same events that he had been so critical of. Which brings me all back to that question I asked you a few minutes ago. What would you write about 2020? Do you see only the negative and the dark side of it? Or are you looking for the bright side, the happy stories, the evidence of God working in your life? If you remember nothing else about this entire message this morning, I hope that you will hang on to this thought. It is not happiness that makes us grateful. It is gratefulness that makes us happy. I pray that you have a blessed day today. Each morning, look to this Facebook page for more encouraging videos that will help to lift your spirits. And as always, I encourage you to leave a comment down there below. Feel free to share this video with your friends. Thank you, and God bless you as you go through your day today.